So Vibe Kayaks contacted me and asked if I would be interested in a couple of their kayaks, and I said, absolutely, send them this way. Well, there was a catch. I had to drive to Atlanta, Georgia, to a warehouse and pick them up. I said, okay, I could do that. Atlanta's only 8 hours away. So we roll out at 3 o'clock in the morning. We get to Atlanta, Georgia, and I realize, hey, I left all the information at the house. I left the contact info. I left the names. I left the telephone numbers. I left all that on a separate piece of paper. And it was not in my email because I wrote all this down on a telephone call. And so I was like, oh, Lord. So we look at the invoice of all the stuff I was supposed to pick up, and it had an address on there. So this is the misadventures of trying to locate this address. Oh, and the company had moved from this warehouse to another warehouse. So that's part of the fun. Dave and I have done a real quick drive all the way over to, what's this place?
Atlanta.
Oh yeah, Atlanta.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's Atlanta, somewhere over in Georgia. So we roll up to a building and we could not find Suite 500. The address that it shows on the paperwork said Suite 500. The only thing we could find was Suite 200. So we had to back up and drive down the road because this was Suite 200. And we're looking for Suite 500. We finally found somebody that could give us some directions to where we needed to go. But the only problem was his directions were as clear as mud. So he's like, go down there, take a left, drive down the road a little ways, take another left, go up the hill, and it's on your left. So, and I thought redneck instructions were bad. We roll up on another building and we still could not find Suite 500. Dave gets out, finds an open door to go ask for help, and I find a telephone number on a sign. And this is not the same company that we were actually picking the kayaks up from. But I called this in hopes that I could ask questions on how to get to that warehouse. Well, the answering service sounded like they were very joyful and really loved their job.
Thank you for calling. For the general manager, press 0. For the warehouse, press 1. For the operations manager, press 2.
Well. Once again, we find out we're in the wrong spot, and the warehouse that we're looking for is 7 miles away because they just recently moved.
All right, Cap. Found it out. Different location.
So apparently we have to go to another spot because it's like 7 miles away because they moved. We type the address into the GPS. The GPS gets us where we need to go, and we pull up to another warehouse distribution center. Say that 5 times fast. And we pull up to the guard shack, and there's no guard. You know, the little thing that goes up and down says stop. Well, there's no guard. And we sit there for 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden the guard comes out. And he's like, hey, how can I help you? And we tell him, hey, we're looking for blah, blah, blah. And he says, okay, let me make a phone call. And so he gets on his radio or whatever, and he calls and tells them, hey, we're here to do some stuff. And the person on there says, good, we're expecting them. And it's door 204. All right, so we got to find building number or door number 204. He said to drive all the way around the building. So here's some of the buildings. We're at the 100s. All right, well, it looks like we found 204 right there. So we're gonna back up to number 204. They did say 204, right?
Yeah.
So after driving around this massive building, we finally found door 204. So we throw it in reverse and back up to the door. We get out and there's no doors for us to really knock on. And I find one door way down there. I get up and I go knocking on that door, nothing. So we wait around another 10 or 15 minutes and finally the door opens up and these folks was in there getting all our stuff ready to load into the truck.
125. This is the cooler. Everything handheld is here. Two, you're gonna open this up. And you open your two paddles in there. We got two heads like right at the top.
So this is Ashley. She's the one that's helping us.
Now, Ashley was a huge help, and she was getting everything ready for us to load up.
Black and red. But it's amazing.
Next, we had to find the 14-foot boat. If you've never been in one of these warehouses, good Lord, I've never seen anything like it. It is huge.
That's the thing. So these are 10s and this is 12. I mean, this is a 14.
Mm-hmm.
I was 14, they make those 14.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Now I had to sign the paperwork saying I got everything that was listed on the invoice. Now it's time to load it all up in the back of the truck.
Your back. Thanks for the bill.
To this one?
Go that one, I'll go this one.
All right.
See you guys later.
Thanks, Ashley. You were a huge help and a great blessing. Now we got everything loaded up. It's time to head back to the great state of Mississippi.
Should be able to pull this dude out and right onto these horses. Now they sent me a huge box of all kinds of stuff in there, but let's go over this real quick. Right here in this little kit, this little box comes out. This dude has all kinds of handles, stuff like that. It's got some repair plastic, so you can melt this onto if you put a hole in it, and that's it. That's in that kit. So let's start putting that together. So we're gonna make sure we put the vibe up like it's supposed to go, like right there. And then we're gonna put a washer on here and stick that puppy through here like that. And thread it into the hole. I like to get one side started, and that way it holds, and then put the other one on there. Then do the same thing for the other side here. And screw that dude in. I don't like using drills on these because I always tend to over tighten and pull the stud out. There we go. I don't guess it matters which way these go, just as long as they're on there. All right, so the seat is inside this bag. Comes nice and wrapped up pretty cool. It says sit or stand 16 inches off the water, 300-pound weight capacity, removable for a camp chair. Click, click. And this comes up here. And apparently this adjusts the seat from, or keeps the seat from going backwards so much. That's going to go down here like that. So now the drive system. I guess you just pull that up and pull this, and it will. It looks like this is supposed to come all the way up in here like that, but we shall see. It's got these little grooves down here that locks the string. Now, guys, you got to remember, this is the first time I've ever done this. So pull this up. There we go. And that locks it in place. It's not going to go nowhere. And then, there we go. Now you're going to have excess string there. Now we got the rudder system in. It looks like something goes here. So they sent a box of accessories. Let's check those out. All right. Now, they sent all kinds of stuff. Got a couple nice little hats. The Revo 20-ounce tumblers to go with it. Fishing rod holders. 2 more rod holders. All right, we got some paddles. Carbon fiber. These are the Ember 240 to 260 centimeter. Wow. Well, they'd spared no expense. All right, let's see what you got. Mesh plier holders for when you're fishing. You got mesh organizer, keep your gear where you need it. You got a little organizer here. We got another mesh tackle tray sleeve. Let's see what this is. This is a kayak rail mount, shorty extension. Another rail mount, an extension, another rail mount, and another extension. Now I got one more gear item, and it is this coral colored ice chest. And this will go great in the back of that kayak. This is a 20-quart ice chest. And this thing is designed to fit all the way up snug right there. All right, so I think that is it for the shear water. And we're going to need to put it in the water and test it out. I got a pond here. We're going to load it into the pond. And then we'll get ready to take it on the river. Look, he decided to follow me. That dog is a nut. Now that's pretty cool. Now I gotta figure out how to adjust the seat without getting out. I think I'm gonna have to get out. So we're gonna see how stable this is, and I'm gonna try to stand up, turn around, and adjust it while I'm in it. I know the audio is probably not the best in the world, but let's see here. Let's take this. Oh, this ain't too bad. Now, there we go. We got one here and one here. It looks like. Okay, cool. Now, I can. Now that was pretty neat. All right, one knobs. Now we can play with the rudder system. All right, that's pretty cool. Now. All right, now that we got this thing in the pond and we tried it out, we got familiar with all the aspects of it, it's time to take it on an adventure. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time. God bless you.